Starting June 1st, the interest rate for student loans will be reduced from 9% to an amazing 5%. Yes, you heard it right. This means more money in your pocket and less stress on your budget. To complete the process, it's as easy as picking up the phone, calling our offices, and making an appointment with one of our friendly officers.
Thank you for calling the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis. My name is Miss Warner. How may I assist you?
Hey, good day. I would like to make an appointment to complete the process of reducing the interest rate on my existing student loan.
I'm glad you called. Are you available next Thursday at 9 a.m.?
Yes, Thursday at 9 works for me.
During the appointment, please make sure to bring your 2 national identification cards and proof of address. Don't forget to notify your guarantors of this fantastic interest rate reduction and bring them along with you to your appointment or have them contact us.
Thanks for your assistance.
See you soon.
So call us now at 465-2288 or 469-5416 or email us at info@skndb.com to complete the process of reducing the interest rate on your existing loan today. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life.
Get ready to ignite your mornings with Fire Talk. Tune in every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. on ZYZ Radio 96.1 FM for 15 minutes of blazing hot conversations featuring Romel Williams and Timothy Martin. They'll be discussing the latest fire updates, trends, and topics that matter to you. Don't miss out on the heat. Fire Talk every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. on ZYZ Radio 96.1 FM.
Yes, it is, man. Good morning, Sweet Sugar City, St. Kitts, Queen City, Nevis. Welcome to the morning show and welcome to our fire conversation, Fire Talk, for today, Tuesday, the 6th day of June, 2023. Good morning, Acting Fire Chief Romel. How are you doing this morning? Romel Williams?
Yes, sir. You got it right.
Yes, and let me see.
Morning, Vicky. Morning, listen, audience.
Thank you, sir. I always get this one tied tongue tie and twisted wrong. Substation. Okay, I don't got it wrong.
You missed the fire part. Fire is in front.
Fire
substation officer.
There you go. There you go. You know, I should write that down. I should write that down. Welcome, Timothy, to the studio.
Thank you, Jackie, for having us here. Good morning, listening audience. Hope everyone is well.
Great. Now, for those of you who missed our conversation last week, we touched base on what inspired both Timothy and Romel, and they also shared some of the challenging aspect of the job. We're going to continue our conversation this morning by asking them, and I don't anticipate a fight to answer this question. But I'll just put it in the air. And I would not put on my referee suit and get in the middle of this one with you guys. Can you tell us here, as I said on the morning show, about a particular memorable experience you had while on duty? You're gonna let me go first?
Is it okay to share more than one?
Yeah. All
right. Yeah. So yes. So since he passed the baton on to me. Some of the most memorable things that I can recall, not all of them are fond memories, if I should put it that way. The one that stands out most to me it was when we were at a training. We were doing a medical training at the JNF hospital, and we got a call that the police needed some assistance. So we broke the class for the day and then we went out. It so happened that they came across, they were doing an investigation regarding a missing person. And I hope my sharing this experience doesn't deeply rehash certain memories for persons out there. So for that I am truly sorry. However, we got a call that a murder took place and the body of that individual was thrown down a well. And they needed the assistance of fire and rescue to retrieve the body from that well. And given the nature of myself, I mean, I was one of the persons who was selected the only person who was selected to go down in that well. That well was a couple 100 feet about maybe 125 feet in distance down. And I had to ascend down into that well, and
Descent.
Descend, sorry. Down into the well, and we had to take up, the parts of the individual and send them up. That was a memorable experience for me. I'll let Mr. Williams take the baton, and I could always come back to me next.
Yes, so you see, most of the experiences that we share, both of us are on the same scene. That was actually Rigger. They call me the Rigger, the person who deal with the ropes. So I dealt with the ropes. So his life was in my hands. So he
definitely.
has to respect me every time.
Every single time.
Yes. So my memorable experience was in my early years when we responded to a cane fire. Time the sugar industry was still swinging. And so there was a cane fire down in that area where the Ross nursing school is. So they were still sugar cane. So there was a fire in that area, and the fire truck was down to one of the tracks. And the fire was burning going west. So it was a good distance away from the truck. So we were there, throwing out fire lines, extinguishing fires. And then the wind picked up. And at the area where we were, the road was much lower, so the sugar cane seems really tall. I was on the top of the truck. So the fire rush came across because the wind picked up, and the fire just started literally running across the field. And I stood on top of the truck, and I saw the flames coming, and fire guys around, scattering around, trying to collect to pick up the fire hose so they won't get burned, until we eventually had to drive the truck and drag the lines out of the field.
Wow.
But the flames rolled over the truck. The flame just rolling over the truck. And I was on the top of the truck. So I had to lie down on the truck with a little water line, because there's a booster line on the truck. And water was just trickling from the line. So I was just using that to try and keep myself cool. When we eventually got out, my skin was like shine. All my hairs was singed, burnt off. The only hair I had left was on my head and the eyebrows and the little mustache. They survived. And because I was wearing long clothes, the hair on my foot was saved as well. But the hands disappeared, shine like glass.
Wow.
Crazy heat.
Wow.
And I remember that experience like yesterday. The fire was almost like fire burn, and it's almost like hands trying to get to you. And I just and the truck driving, and you hear fire officer screaming, "Let's go, we can't afford to lose our lives." It's only now I play it back in my head, I play it back in my head, and it's amusing. Just hearing we can't afford
After
to
the
lose our
fact,
lives, it was serious then.
Yeah.
But playing it over in my head, I just laugh about it. It was really amusing. No. But yeah, that was quite a memorable experience for me.
Let me ask you this though before I'll let Timothy continue, because Timothy, he has more to share.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have more to share too.
No, I isn't hitting to see.
But when you hear his story, you continue, right? But after experiencing that, were you reluctant to go out on those type of fires?
No. We actually prayed.
For something like that again?
In our young years.
For something else like that?
we prayed for fires. If we go to work and nothing is happening,
Bushfires, man, bushfires.
Bushfires.
Yeah.
We don't. When it comes to structural fires, house fires, we pray that we don't have those fires. But the bushfires, man, we get 2-3 bushfires today, we're good.
I was
So, because what happens, we, believe it or not, we gain most of our experiences from bushfires. Because those are the ones that occur more often. And especially in the peak fire season, you get those things. I mean, you could easily respond to 10 bushfires. Not now, it's not so much now, because like I said, persons are more safety conscious now. People are not just lighting fires like once before. And because, the place is getting more populated, houses are going up where Canefield was at one time, so we don't have that much anymore. But back in the day when you could easily respond to 10, maybe 15 fires in one day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a thrill.
Yeah.
and so we're not encouraging the general public to go back to those days.
I don't think they can.
Right.
If they try.
We want to encourage persons
That's
to
a lot of
desist
house to kick down,
from
yeah.
lighting.
No, we when we were children, we thought like children, but now we are grown. We put away childish things.
Yes.
So
yes.
we pray for no fires.
Yes.
No fires. Once you don't have any fire, that's a good day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Experience, eh? Experience.
Experience.
Back in the day, they used to call me the fire dog. Yeah, because the aggression that you're going after the fire with, and so is doing every and anything to get that fire out. Suppose you used to see my suit back in the day. My suit was not pretty at all.
Wow.
Yeah, is filled with soot and so, cause it's chucky and feel we going running lines. Back when
You
they
mean
had
such stains, you mean?
yes, soot stains.
Oh, okay.
Back when SSMC and so was there, I mean, we used to go on the cats in order to assist with extinguishing the fires and so. So it's everything and anything possible to get a fire under control. We were there.
I'll let you share another experience with us.
Okay, so one of the most recent ones would be the fire at Christoph Harbour. That fire, it was just amazing to see the way in which the fire consumed that house. I had the opportunity of reaching even on the roof to try to extinguish that fire. I mean, persons saw pictures and so on when they're seeing that person all the way up there on the very top of the house and so with a hose in the hand trying to extinguish the fire. That was me. So again, is about getting the job done. Try with safety in mind, of course, but getting the job done. So that fire, it was a huge fire for us. It entailed the various stations around. So airport had to come in, Sandy Point and Tabernacle, they had to come in as well, and of course Bastia was there fighting the fire. So it converged all of our units into one area to try to get that fire under control.
With all these past experiences that you know, you might leave and don't know what to expect. I can't say your experience has taught you to know what to expect. Your experience has taught you to prepare for the unexpected.
Yes, indeed.
So I technically asked the question, how do you prepare for emergencies? Just knowing that you don't know what to expect.
When we were training, there is a saying, expect the worst, hope for the best, and you will not be disappointed. Similarly, when we are training and we have to respond to emergencies, we always, because once you get the call, you must begin to do a mental size up. So mentally, based on the call, you start to create scenarios in your head. So in your head, you're already fighting the fire in your head based on the
information
report.
that you get from
and
the
that
report.
is why it is critical to gather as much information from the caller as possible. So while en route, for instance, if we get a call, let's say in Challengers, that gap between Bastia to Challengers, you have all that time to create scenarios in your mind as to how to combat this fire. And so we always think worst case scenario. So at least you're prepped for the worst case. And when you get on scene and it's not as bad as you thought it was, then you're already prepared to deal with that. We do regular trainings on the job. So every time we go to work, we do training, whether it's a simulated drill, whether we practice using our breathing apparatus, so that we are, because what happened, these breathing apparatus, they have changed drastically from what we met, and we're not there very long, to what they have now. They are really sophisticated, so we have to make sure that we understand how to fully operate these apparatuses.
Stick up in there. We're going to get into that conversation about your fire equipment in just a bit. But I want to keep you on that aspect of preparing for emergencies. While you're going to that destination, is that just a thought process in your head alone, or is that a thought process that's being shared on the appliance while heading to the destination?
Yeah, it is more or less like a conversation between supervisor and subordinates. Because what happened, even while on the truck, everybody already know what their position is. So they already know what they're supposed to do. So the supervisor, and the thing is, sometimes it's not always a verbal conversation, but each officer already, putting in their heads, okay, I am number 2. I am number 3. So I know what my position is. I am number 1. So number 1 is normally the one right up in front with the
branch.
Branchman.
As we say.
So he already formulating in his mind. But over them, the supervisor, who is also the safety officer to watch over the other officers, he already formulated in his mind and would pass on whatever instructions as needed based on the report to say, for instance, okay guys, we have a 2-story building on fire. All right, well, we need to make sure that we first practice exposure protection. It means that there might be a chance that other buildings could become involved. So right away, they know that we have to have 2 number 1 man, 1 doing exposure protection and 1 combating fire as needed. And so is mental preparation, is physical preparation, and all of that has to be done in like seconds. Because if the call is just across the street from the fire station, you don't have minutes to think. You just have seconds to do a mental size up. And then, of course, when you get on scene, there's a scene size up. And that, again, is done in seconds because you don't have time to waste.
Now, Mr. Williams shared gave an overview, if I can put it that way. More or less. But what about you? What's your experience?
All right. So it's basically, what he started out with, your mindset. You have to have the mindset that, hey, anything is possible today, right? Then you have to make sure that your gears is in proper order. So you make sure that you're able to find your helmet, your boots and everything is there, prepped and ready for you. In the event of an emergency, you have everything you need to keep not just you safe, but to also be in a position to protect your fellow firefighters and also the general public at large. So that whole preparation, it's from your mind, getting your gears them in order, also in terms of what we do with the fire appliance at mornings and at nights, checking each and every equipment to make sure that they are in a state of readiness. They're operational. If there is any malfunctions, and so we basically check the maintenance unit, have them come and check it out right away, so that we can be prepared for anything that happens.
Listening to both of you this morning, I get a sense that you have, experienced some real, and I pause because it's tragedy, and some experience that will stay with you for a lifetime. Not that it happens every day, but what would you say to someone who is thinking about a job, listening to this program right now, and they haven't made up their mind in terms of what they're going to do? You know how things are right now. They just, some people just say, I want a job. Some thinking, list just goes on and on. But they're listening now. And I've heard you mention more than once that you would like to get more firefighters on board. What advice would you give to that individual listening right now? Or what would you suggest to someone who is thinking about becoming a firefighter?
Okay, so my advice would be to search the various professions out there. Now, when you look at firefighting is one of the most noblest jobs there is. It is selfless. You give of yourself in terms of taking care of the public. So if you're looking for a job for personal gain and things like that, firefighting might not be the job for you. However, like I said, it's one of the most noblest jobs. So it is a job that it secures your family. For example, you get a salary every month. You're able to take care of your family. And next thing too is that it opens a lot of opportunity for persons. Me and Mr. Williams, for example, we are a product of the number of opportunities that has opened up within the fire department. We have gone to a number of countries and courses, just gaining knowledge and experience. So you gain the medical side of training. So hey, even if anything happens within your household, you can be that one to render assistance until the ambulance comes. You get training whether in hazardous materials, search and rescue. A number of opportunities are out there for you. So you just have to be a hard worker. Make up in your mind that you're there to work hard, and the opportunities will just come.
Would you like to add to that conversation, sir?
Just a little bit. I mean, most persons, there are persons who know what they want before they go and seek a job. There are persons who just want a job. In my case, if you were listening last week, you would have heard that I had no intention of being a fire officer. I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted a job, so there's nothing wrong with wanting a job. So we don't want you to feel like, okay, I really don't want to be a fire officer by looking a job. But at some point, that your job has to turn. He has to evolve. He has to go from just being a job to a career. Firefighting is not just, once you are a firefighter, it's no longer about you. It is about the people that you serve or you want to serve. So, you must be ready to put yourself and I'm not thinking less of yourself, right? But you have to put people forward, right? It's a place where you give to people. It's a sacrificially. So if you're not a person who likes to give time, fire department probably is not the best place, because all fire department does is give time to people. We give our time to save lives, even though we're getting paid, because there are a lot of things we do that we don't get paid for. But because we understand the importance of what we do, money is no longer an issue. So if that's going to be an issue, then fire department really isn't the place for you. But what I would say is fire department is one of the most rewarding careers that anybody would want to get involved in. It's just rewards. And I'm not even talking about your salary. Your salary is not a reward. That's something that you're supposed to get. I'm talking about the reward from the general public, from being able to save somebody's life, to save somebody's life investment. You get rewarded. You get to see the joy on somebody's face, the smile when they say, "Oh no, thank you." When they say, "Man, you all got here in good, man. Fire department, you all responding good time. You all did a good job." That is rewarding for me. and to be able to be a part of making a difference in somebody's life. I mean, somebody who could have lost their life in a second, but because of your intervention, they are alive today. Because of your intervention, they have what they would have worked 40, 50 years of their lives for. Right? So that is very rewarding. And as Mr. Martin already mentioned, there's a lot of opportunities. A lot of opportunities. But I like to say opportunities don't come in an envelope with Rommel Williams' name on it, and this belong to me alone. So it could be rest down there on the desk for years and I open it and it still belong to me. That's not how it works. You have to be prepared. You have to make sure that you are ready for when the opportunity comes for you to take it, because it will not wait for you. And that's fire department is no different to any other job. You have to apply yourself. Your work, your labor will not go unrewarded. But fire department, if I was to do it again, I would do it again. I might start earlier, but I would do it again. I would, because as a matter of fact, I could become an engineer through fire department.
Mm-hmm. You know, seeing that aspect, right?
There's an avenue for me to become a fire engineer. Mm-hmm. I might not be a mechanical engineer, but I'm an engineer nonetheless. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And fire department offers that opportunity. Mm-hmm. But of course, you have to apply yourself.
Timothy?
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Piggybacking on the rewarding aspect as well, as Mr. Williams says, sometimes it doesn't have to be reward coming verbally as well. Just from your actions alone, nobody even have to say anything to you to make it rewarding for you. And I'll share this example. Like this morning, I had my little girl with me, and we were driving along Pan Road, and I came across an accident, right? And the first thing when I passed, I asked, "Is everyone all right?" And someone shouted that, a lady is trapped inside of the vehicle. Now, initially in seeing the accident, I could have just passed by, but I prompted to ask, and then after that, I parked the vehicle. I had my little girl with me, took her out, and basically let a bystander just take care of her for a bit while I went to deal with the lady. And the ambulance came, we got her loaded up into the ambulance, etc. and so. And for me, that was rewarding enough to be able to go and assist the individual. So it doesn't have to come with persons saying, thank you, etc. Just from your actions alone, you can feel a sense of reward.
Mm-hmm. And you wasn't on duty.
And I was on duty, yes, but not in the sense of
on call for
being
that,
on call, for that.
Right.
He just confirmed everything I just said. You cannot, once you are a firefighter, it's no longer about self. He could not pass through it because he's a firefighter. It's no way he could have passed through it because we don't pass the level now. This is no longer about self. He had to. Whether because he felt like he was doing his job or not, he had to. Because he's a career firefighter, he understands what it means to put people first.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to respond to that incident. He had a choice. He just didn't know he had a choice. And again, if you're a person who does not like to give of your time, fire department is not the place. Because he could have continued. Well, he said he could have continued on his own time, but he couldn't do it. He could not do it because he has to
understand what it means
to respond to that.
Yes.
So what I'm gathering for anyone who's listening to this conversation right now, and they are looking at job, you're not turning them away.
No.
However, though, you have to be cognizant enough to know and understand the job that you're getting into.
Yes.
And what it entails and what is required of you.
Yeah.
So it might take you some time to adapt, but eventually you should, and take it to the next level. That's what you're saying. So your job now becomes your passion.
Right.
I'm surprised we got just about 2 minutes left, and then we're going to wrap up the program for this one. But we're going to continue our conversation. I have a lot of questions I want to ask you guys. We have been doing this program for a while, and I've been taking some notes, and we have been touching base on little things here and there. And I decided, it's time for us to address those issues head on. Right. But in wrapping up the conversation, as it relates to, giving advice to someone who wants to become a firefighter or someone who is looking at a job, how can they do so? Can they walk into the fire department? What is the procedure like to become a firefighter?
Well, it's just everything starts with an application. They have to come to the office. They fill out an application. There's a stub that is attached to the application form that tells you exactly what else needs to accompany the form. Mm-hmm. And once you bring the forms back, the form is generally goes to administration for processing. Mm-hmm. And then from there, it's more or less wait for a call.
Okay. Do you have to be a certain age? Is there age requirement?
Yeah, we normally, the age group is from 18 to 35 really. Mm-hmm. But we have taken on persons 17, we have taken on persons in their 40s because they have a particular skill set. Mm-hmm. They are more or less an asset. Mm-hmm. You're a truck driver, you have a Class F or Class C license. That's how Redruth Fire Department drive trucks. Mm-hmm. So, and if we're in need of drivers, you're an asset. Mm-hmm. If you're a mechanic, you're an asset.
Right.
So we go past 35 if you have a particular skill set. Mm-hmm. That would definitely, that the fire department or even the ministry on a whole could benefit from. Mm-hmm. So there are some cases where we go past the age group, and then of course 17 if you're making 18 in less than a year. Mm-hmm. We have done that in a few instances.
You made some exceptions.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Gentlemen, we're going to wrap up our conversation there, but we'll definitely continue next week. You kind of touch base on some of the questions I have in terms of equipment and how are they standing the test of time and so forth and so forth. So we get into all of that.
Yeah, we dig deeper into that.
But I want to thank you guys for taking your time out this morning to share with the public a little bit more of what you guys do as firefighters. I'm going to leave the last word for Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams.
Yeah, the last word.
Mr. Williams, you have the last words this morning.
Yes, so thank you, GK, for allowing me to have the last words today again. So I really want to encourage us to continue to be safe in every aspect. Be safe on the streets. You're driving, drive safe. At home, be safe, practice fire safe measures to ensure that you keep you and your family safe. And we do hope that you have a safe and productive day today. Thank you.
See how much time you were safe? A lot of safe.
I see you counting. Thank you once again, gentlemen. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned. Battle of the Bands is up next right here on The Morning Show.
Good morning, early birds. Get ready to soar high with ZIZ 96.1 FM, your ultimate companion for a powered pack morning show. Tune in from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. and experience a variety of business promotions and a wide range of music all in one place. Be sure to start your day on the right note, whether you're at home or on the go. ZIZ 96.1 FM has got you covered. So set your alarms and join us